All right, so group of three of you here. So why don't you tell me who you are and how you know Kurt? Over here.
I am Hatch, Dan Hatch, and lived in the fraternity with Kurt, and also lived at Ravenna with Kurt, and these guys all together in our first house outside of the fraternity. So that was
an experience.
It really was.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And
Dan Parnell, in the fraternity with Kurt. Lived with him in Northgate, Ravenna. I went to Australia with him, and one of my best memories of Kurt is in the house during college. We used to listen to the oldies from Spokane. We'd pick up an oldie station, and sit there and study in the library, which was his room at the time. And, yeah, many hours listening to oldies and studying. But
good.
anyway,
You are?
Scott Collette, Scooter, sometimes. Obviously in the fraternity with Kurt and the boys here. It's kind of like going to the movie store. You walk through the door and you can't remember any of the movies you wanted to rent. So it's just kind of the same type of situation, drawing a kind of a blank slate. But there are so many memories from the house to apartment, living together, Australia, of course, Venice Street, tipping over a canoe when we weren't even supposed to be fishing, that kind of thing. So,
Cool.
the last time I saw Kurt was about maybe 20 feet from here with his dad, about June 2011. And next thing you know, he's gone. So we're all here because Kurt would have been here too.
So how was golfing today?
Good and bad.
And I didn't know it was blue shirt and khaki short day either. You guys planned that?
no.
Okay.
That's stuff. What was it, like some sort of fraternity boy regulation? Some of us had our hats on backwards for a while too.
Didn't get the memo.
So did y'all golf with Kurt at some point?
Yeah.
Is he a good golfer? Or?
No. Kurt. No. Kurt.
Calling Kurt a golfer would be like standing in the middle of your garage saying you're a car.
Kurt would be aiming at 10 o'clock to shoot at 2 o'clock. So, fun golfing with the guy, but today was more of a celebration than anything. I mean, a year ago it was hard being in Vegas and seeing everybody during the memorial and all that. But today was more of a celebration, and
Bittersweet.
it was bittersweet, and good to see a lot of guys I haven't seen in a long time. So it was a good day.
Well, at least we're off the ground. So
Yeah.
next year we can, hopefully double it up and
It was a good showing.
never stop.
It was a good showing.
Yeah.
So what was his nickname?
Lots of
Posse.
picklefish.
Where did that come from?
Have you ever seen
We
Happy
were
Days?
told to ask you guys.
So first off, he looked like Potsy on Happy Days,
Okay.
and somebody in the house decided give him $100 if he changed his name legally to not just Potsy but Potsy Picklefish, and don't think he ever took him up on it, obviously, but it stuck. So not just Potsy Hanson Weber, but Potsy Picklefish. So anyway.
Okay, so each of you on individual, tell me what's a characteristic about Kurt that you want to make sure his kids know about him.
Shirt off your back. Shirt off his back.
Tell me more about that.
You didn't have to ask twice. You didn't even have to imply. Sometimes he'd even lead the charge. He wouldn't even. He was just one of those guys. But and he bottled it all up inside too. He popped those antacid pills like they were candy. That's why everybody liked him. Nobody, I don't know anybody that ever had a bad word to say about Kurt.
Nope.
No.
Never.
He was always there for you.
He was fearless. He just walked right through anything. Wasn't he beta or was he president? He was president.
Both.
He was both.
He was cool.
So he handled all the madness, all the chaos going on in the fraternity as vice president and president without any nervousness, without any fear. He actually embraced it and just walked right through it and loved it. He loved the attention, he loved the challenge, and he loved the fact that other people might be afraid of it, but he wasn't. And he just excelled at that. And I really admired him for that because it was a tough time in the fraternity, always was.
It was a thankless job, just
Yep.
like any position of power, I guess.
Yep.
You don't make a lot of friends, and he seemed to.
Yep.
Kurt was one of those guys that didn't matter if you were having the best time, the worst of time. Kurt just had a good attitude, and he knew things weren't going well, so, for himself or other situations, but he always made the best of it. And I think that's why everybody kind of gravitated towards him, because he was just kind of positive. Just a good guy.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to do this again next year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does
Yep,
James Brown get down?
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, the
hope
one thing I remember about Kurt the most is his love for Neil Diamond. And it drove me nuts because I was a rocker guy, but I loved Kurt and I loved those guys, and
I might have
you
been partly
couldn't.
responsible for that, Hatch.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, you probably turned him on to it, or just just egged him on. But they'd crank it all the way up, and then they'd dance. They'd just float
And we
through the
can't
rooms.
dance.
They'd float. They just float, and I just couldn't help but just smile. I couldn't help, and I mean, to this day, when I hear Neil Diamond, I think of Kurt. And it's not even a joke. That's to this day. Every time I hear Neil Diamond, I think of Kurt.
That's fabulous.
Back
I
in the
love it.
days when you would make a mix tape, when you had a tape, you put songs on the tape. Oh, way back. Guarantee there would be a couple of Neil Diamond songs on there.
And everybody else
Even if it
loved
made everybody
too.
mad and we had to stop in the middle of the party.
That's right. Oh, it was great, man. It was great.
It was in spite of the party, because we're gonna play it no
Test
matter
feet.
what.
See
Yeah.
how many Neil Diamond songs we can get away with before the needle comes off the record.
Kurt was one of those guys that he was such a good friend to everybody, to all of us.
Yeah.
But when we got we got into social situations and stuff like that, he didn't change. He was just, you could always count on Kurt, and people liked him because you knew he was going to be the music guy. He was going to be the guy we can go out
I've never
with,
seen
so
a guy
everybody-
with deeper pockets for quarters for the jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It didn't matter where you were either.
I don't remember anyone being upset with Kurt. Kurt got along with everyone, so he was a good friend to all of us,
And we're lucky to have him. We were really lucky to have that guy.
Great. Well, guys, thanks a lot. Go ahead and let's give Ben and Mia and Berna a little wave goodbye. All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Hi. So you are who and how do you know?
Brian Christensen.
Yeah.
I know Kurt from college. Went to school together at WSU in the fraternity, Phi Kappa Sigma. He was came in the year after me, so I got to be his theta that made sure that everybody did the house duties. So I got to pester him and his other pledge brothers to make sure they kept the house clean.
Do they're supposed to do. Now,
Yeah.
your wife was here today, but she decided not to
Lori.
go on camera, huh?
Yes.
Okay, that's all right. So you're soloing here.
It, yes.
Okay. How was the golf game today?
golf game was okay.
You won something.
Oh, longest drive.
There you go. Awesome.
Longest drive.
So what was you were in the fraternity with Kurt? So tell me a memory you have of Kurt. Something that can be shared with the kids.
Oh, we just had lots of fun. We watched a lot of Sonics basketball. They were actually good back then. And little Days of Our Lives around the.
Days of Our Lives, really?
Everyone was a little Days of Our Lives fan.
Which is a soap opera.
It's a soap opera. Yes, things we do in college.
We didn't know that about Kurt.
Yes.
That's great.
Everyone would sit around in the main room and watch Days of Our Lives during lunch break. Yes.
Great. So if you had one thing that you wanted to share with Kurt's kids and with Berna, something characteristic about him that you'd really want them to know about him, what would you say?
Oh, it was just always in good spirits and fun to be around. Just a great guy.
Good. Okay. Well, Brian, thanks for sharing. And
All right.
maybe just say goodbye to
Goodbye.
the kids there.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Some blue